when you are subsidizing in any economy, you don't just subsidize for the poor alone. Because when you subsidize for the poor are working for the rich. And so that means the rich themselves will have a way of increasing their goods and services. So what you think you're subsidizing for the poor is not even able to use it to even get any consumable in his house. So what we are looking at is that if you are running subsidy in any economy, subsidy touches everybody. If you want to, let me give an example. Kenya, when he came to power, the president of Kenya, William Ruto, when he came to power, what did he do first? He removed subsidy from petroleum product. He took it to where? To gas, to diesel. See, because most companies in Kenya operate on diesels. Mm-hmm. So that will bring down the cost of production. That will bring down the cost of goods and services. He said the poorest of the poor, they also operate rail system. Some of them don't even have a car. So the rich are the ones that actually benefit more of the petroleum subsidy because they have 2 to 3 cars. So now after the rich man, you will now begin to think, should I use only 1 car? I don't have to use 2 or 3 cars. So by that doing, he was touching everybody. Say, look, this thing touched all of us. Now cost of production comes down. A lot of people are able to buy goods into their house. So they are able to meet up their demands to their family. And also the rich that owns those companies are also able to enjoy a little bit of subsidy in terms of it. Then come to Ghana, our neighbor here. Ghana removed subsidy in petroleum product. But what did they do? They removed subsidy in petroleum product and then decided to put it in energy, in electricity. Everybody has electricity. Now, how do they do it? They know the richest of the rich area. So we'll subsidize at this amount in that area. We'll subsidize at this amount in this area. That is the way to run a subsidy scheme. A subsidy scheme that is only looking at one side does not do anyone any good. That is why you see the cutting of corner. That's why you see that the rich will cut corners to make sure that they also benefit from that subsidy. So when you say 5,000 naira, I ask myself, in Nigeria today, how much is 5,000 naira in exchange for $1?
Exactly. But a friend of mine, he's not an economist, but he did say to me that, don't think of it as so small like that. By the time this money, since it's going to be aimed at the poorest of the poor, by the time it is, released into those local rural economies, then we're going to see a marked difference.
Unless you are not in touch with the rural people. I mean, if you don't have people in the villages, some of us have grandmothers in the village. We still have mothers in the village. We still have cousins or nephews that are staying in the village. Send any of them 5,000 naira. Because even in the village, the cost of petroleum product is about 300 and something naira. In the rural area.
So you don't think very much of that idea that, look, even if it's a modest 60,000 naira over 12 months, that is 5,000 naira a month, that this will somehow, if it is released, since you're not going to get this money and then just put it under your pillow.
Uncle, when you look at the modest,
it's going to be injected
when you look at the modest 60,000 naira in a year, if you look at the exchange rate as today, it's not up to $100 in a year.
Yeah, this dollar is a problem.
No. We need, because we are talking of a globalized, because all the goods that we get into this country are imported. They're imported. Even the cars that you say, okay, the rural people, the cars that they will even drive to take their truck to, they have to buy the spare part. The spare parts are not made here in Nigeria. So it's not about dollarizing your economy. But when you look at IMF or World Bank, when they are talking about it, they will talk in terms of dollar rate.
Yes, they will.
That's what they will say. That's what we use. The GDP that we are shouting about that we can borrow because we are GDP. So how do they calculate? Is it not by dollar that they will tell you that that's why we can borrow more? So we are not dollarizing it, but if we want to do things, we should see. If we keep doing things the way we keep doing things, and we think we have a difference, or we are just killing ourselves. Nigerian Labour Congress. You said, okay, subsidy, you give them palliative, you bring in transportation. Uncle Yori, we have done it before. Did it work? Fortunately, the current president was in charge, Petroleum Trust Fund. Remember that time? Yeah. Every money set aside, they bought a lot of buses, even gave to higher institutions. Where are those cars today? They are nowhere. So you say you buy mass transit. There was a time Babangida regime removed palliative. Remember the SAP time? They brought in a lot of mass transit buses to be operated by the government. Where are those buses today? So we keep doing things, we keep doing things same way, we expect a different result. You are looking at the mass transit, but you're only thinking of the civil servants. How many percentage of the civil servants do we have in Nigeria? The informal sector has been killed already by this administration through their so-called Naira redenomination. That sector is dead.
Well, yeah.
So how are you thinking to revive that sector?
So what you just spoke about now, are you referring to the whole, I don't know what that was, whether it was an escapade of we're going to change the Naira, and all of that.
As we keep going.
Did that really have any, slowdown effect on the economy?
Exactly, it did. Remember,
and we're right back to where we were before all of the mess started.
Uncle Yorin, do you see the new 1,000 Naira note again?
At all.
Do you see the 500 Naira note again?
No.
So we have gone back
to where we were.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the central bank or whoever is in charge.
Maybe they're deliberately
maybe
doing
they're maybe they're printing.
They are printing the new note and keeping it till we finish the old notes. Because I don't see you going to any bank. Go to any bank. I don't know, maybe a bank outside Lagos.
You won't
go to any bank in Lagos. You don't get the new note, 1,000 Naira note. You get the old note.
That's right.
The only new note you get is 500. The old 500 you don't see. In the new 200 you don't even see again. Even if you go to the ATM, you get the old 200.
And nobody's talking about that anymore. I mean, it's a real cock-up.
No, nobody's talking about it. Because
that
like
sector we've all gone quiet.
That sector was killed. Because that sector is largely driven by cash transaction. It was killed. And we are not thinking about that. That sector is gone.
You started.